She said, look at my face. A white nigga punched me in my face on the 4th floor. I told her, yes, look at my face. Look, the 4th floor. You know me. I told her, I'm the only black girl that live in this room. I told her, he threw something on my balcony. Look at my face. Look what the white dude on the 4th floor did to my face. I told her, she didn't protect me. Look at my face. I saw him on the other end. He punched me in my face and the door closed me. And my uncle ran after him because my uncle was with me. How do you know my uncle? He pulled something on my face. I was like a fucking animal. Look at my face. Look at my shirt. Look at my face. Look at my face. Everybody gotta see my face. This is my neighbor. But look at my face. No, I have an interview tomorrow. I got a job interview. Look at my face. I gotta pay rent. I gotta pay rent next month. I know, don't tell me to sit down. You don't got my back. Look at my uncle ran after that nigga. Look at my face. My uncle ran after him. The door's open, he's like, bang! My uncle ran after him. So it wasn't the guy that just... No, but that's my uncle. He ran after him. Look at my face. I got an interview tomorrow with a major company. They're coming. Who's coming? The paramedics and everything. Look at my face. The white nigga on the 4th floor. Hey, nigga. On the 4th floor, that called me a nigga and threw shit on my patio. They trying to get me evicted. The nigga saw me in the elevator, punched me in my face. Look. Punched me in my fucking face. This bitch was like, can you get up? Bitch, why you ain't pick me up, though? I had to get up myself, pack my shit back in my purse. Why you ain't pick me up?
What's your name, man?
Come on, right here. My bag is here.
Ebony, can you sit up?
No, I'm not. This is my building, so I pay rent. No. Call the chief. Call the chief, yes. Because we need more people. You're not enough. You telling me to leave the building I live in? This is what the accident happened. No, the accident happened inside here. So hold on. The accident happened inside here, so I'm standing inside here. You don't see my face? Hold on. Look at my face, y'all. He says he's asking me what happened to me. What happened? Do he not see my face?
I see a wound.
He see. What else you see?
So what happened?
I look like a fucking rhinoceros. Look in my face. It's blood that has to be drained from my face. You asking me what happened? You know what happened. Look at my shirt. I just bought this shirt. Come on, let's go. So it's on my laptop. No, come on. Come with me. I got you on video. I'm just letting you know. And my aunt is a detective. Let me show you the video on my laptop. I'm just on the 2nd floor. And now you're going to catch me. Wait, why? Why are you putting me in the cuffs?
Because you're not listening.
But I'm not listening. I told you. I am listening.
Let's go outside.
No, I am listening.
Let's go outside.
What's happening right now? Hold on, wait. The camera's right there. Wait, give me a phone. Let me call my mother real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. Wait, give me a second. Let me just call my mother real quick. The people coming down. Wait. Look, I look like a fucking,
I'm so confused. Checks and balances, I blame y'all. I'm supposed to be starting this stream off with Wack 100 and ADAM22. You know, I was pretty much done with some of the topics that we were going to hit this morning. And I said, let me try to jump into checks and balances chat and catch up. And boy, I'm going to need to spend an hour in there. Shout out to checks and balances. Y'all got a lot in there. And I came across this and I said, let me click play. And I just cut the stream on too. And I was just like, let me just replay because I got through half of it. And I was like, let me replay it from the beginning and just start the stream. Fuck it. Like, there's so much going on in that video. I caught when she said the accident to the officer. She called it an accident. Somebody sounded in the background as if she allegedly got hit with a door by accident. She's saying, I got hit in my head. It's the white nigga on the 4th floor. My uncle just chased him. Hold on, now that you want to handcuff me, let me call my mother instead of my uncle, who could actually clear my whole name because he just chased the alleged attacker. The alleged attacker is supposedly somebody that lives in the building that you said is trying to get you evicted and threw shit on your porch. So then that's something else you can get to the police right there on the spot too. This neighbor that allegedly hit you and is trying to get you convicted and already or evicted from the building, already did stuff to you. So you know who this is, right? Like, you, why are you not talking about this? Instead, you're talking about, I got an interview tomorrow. I got to pay rent. This is a new shirt that got blood on it. I say all that, and there's more. Like, this is just me rambling off a couple like little small notes I remember from the video, just watching it that one full time. And just like, this is the problem with people like this. And I'm not even on no Charlie Clips. Everybody know Charlie Clips is my homie, right? This ain't about Charlie Clips right now. I'm just following up on this because you know what this woman just did to herself? What she did to herself was she put out a bunch of videos on the internet And you are the clear, what we get taught as children, you're the clear cry wolf. And now nobody can believe shit that comes from you. And I don't even think the police officer believes you because you're so frantic and you're so weird and your story is moving and bouncing around so much. He got nervous and said, let me put you in handcuffs. How often do you see somebody get beat the fuck up, knotted up, bloodied, and the cops pull up? They don't have nobody else on the scene. Now, if you pull up and there's 5 people on the scene, 4 of them are standing like this, and 1 of them is all beat up and bruised, you might want to put a couple people in handcuffs as you sort it all out. Right? But if you pull up and there's 1 person, you don't know there's only 1 person, and that person got a big knot on their head, bloody nose, blood on their shirt, and you don't know what's going on. How often do we see that person get put in handcuffs? Why'd you get put in handcuffs? The video is kind of showing why a cop don't know what you on. What the fuck are you on? And I'm not victim blaming here because something happened to that knot. You said an accident, a door. I heard something about a door in there. I hope you get well, and not just physically, allegedly. And back to the crying wolf shit. This is what you get now. You on the internet with these acting jobs, with these fake crying shits, and we expose the DMs and the screenshot showing you setting Charlie Clips up. What's with all these conspire to set somebody up stories going around battle rap lately? But anyway, we saw the DMs with you and O Solo conspiring on Charlie Clips. Then we saw the horrible acting jobs of you fake crying on the internet. Oh, yeah, and it's like, damn, this is the worst shit ever. Like, nobody believes this, what you're doing, shorty. And fuck Charlie Clips. It's not because Charlie Clips is a big battle rapper. No. We looking at you and your DMs and your activities and your mannerisms. We like, and here it is on display again in this video. You off. You off. And whatever story you talking about, the white nigga on the white floor calling a white man a nigga has always been weird. The white nigga on the 4th floor that threw shit on my porch trying to get me evicted and punched me dead in my forehead, and then my uncle took off after him. Even though I'm not looking for my uncle right now, I'm not calling him right now. I'm not telling you who the 4th floor guy is that hit me. Like we automatically put you on the, oh yeah, she's 10% honest shit because of the other shit you did. Nobody wants to hear you out no more. That's what you earn yourself. That's what you earn yourself. You went from trying to use DNA2 platform and battle rap to get your shit off about your personal life, right? You got the platform and the attention you was looking for. Now look at this shit. Now you done put yourself on camera on accident getting arrested, and you was the only one with a knot on your head. Figures. Wasn't supposed to be a topic this morning at all. I don't even consider that a topic. Good morning. Shout out to the chat. That's blame checks and balances for that. Yeah, we're 8 minutes in. So let's get to the real news. I mean that with no sarcasm. Real news. That ain't even real news to me. All right. Today we got ADAM22. We got Wack 100. You see the title, Wack 100 charged and ADAM22 sued over leaked video. I did put a question mark on it. In both scenarios, I have a question mark. So we'll get to that. What else we got going on? We got some Drake album on the way with some Joe Budden reaction. We know their relationship, but I want to see if Joe is giving a non-biased, truthful reaction to how maybe most of us, or I shouldn't say most of us, I should just say many people feel. Okay. So let me check that out with y'all. What else do we got? I got the woman that is suing Shannon Sharpe from the Usher concert for $20 million, along with Ocho Cinco and Shay Media. We have another interview or quick video from her that we want. Let's see what she's saying, and let's see how her position maybe changes. Let's see if we feel different towards her claims. We'll see. We got Sheff G. You also see him in the thumbnail. Lisa Evers caught up with him before. I believe he's going to go in and serve time. And I got some other stuff to close out with real quick. All right. So ADAM22 and the No Jumper podcast. What's going on here? What's TMZ talking about? All right. Let me go on the Small screen for y'all. What's TMZ talking about? So, ADAM22 sued. I got my ass kicked at No Jumper headquarters. All right. ADAM22 is being sued by a man who claims he was violently assaulted and battered at the office where Adam films his popular No Jumper podcast. Okay. In new legal docs obtained by TMZ, a man named Jeremel Reed says he was concussed in an alleged December 2024 incident at No Jumper, Burbank, California headquarters. And he says the two people who whooped his ass were agents, employees, guests, and affiliates of ADAM22's company. Now, we remember the video. I'm not going to bring the video up. I don't know how YouTube feels about that these days. You know, the video of, I think it was two men. There's two men outside. It was nighttime outside of the headquarters of No Jumper Studio. They did get the brakes beat off of them. I think they got stripped naked, allegedly pistol whipped. I'll say all that, right? I mean, we saw the footage. One guy we saw pictures of, he looked crazy, right? This other guy, Reed, who was the one that was doing interviews after the alleged gang member, and we'll get into that as well. He didn't look too bad, but I'm not trying to say that the man wasn't hurt. They also said that they was robbed during this incident. Now, as far as the people involved, yes, Wack 100 is in the footage. We don't see him touch anybody, but he's in the footage. He actually is a person that says to Loose Cannon, don't do that, because Loose Cannon is definitely tossing out some beats and pistol whipping people. I'll say allegedly. And when the gun is out, you know, Wack is like, nah, don't bring it to that level. Don't bring it to that level. There's other people assaulting these gentlemen in the video as well, right? Some people I believe is unnamed, right? Well, unnamed as far as I know. You never know these days. Okay. Reed also says the alleged beatdown resulted in a broken nose, a bruised eyes, plus pain and suffering, and says he racked up a bunch of medical expenses. I could understand that. Like I said, it was a vicious beating that we saw in that video. Adding insult to injury, Reed claims he was deprived of personal property, cash valuables, and in an excess of $10,000. I could see that being justified, right? These guys was out there stripped. You're talking wallets, you're talking cell phones, you're talking, hey, give me your watch, give me your ring. God could have a wedding ring on that costs a couple $1,000. God could have a cell phone. These days, an iPhone costs what, $2,000-$3,000? I don't know. I'm Team Droid. Half the chat don't get mad at me, but I could see you putting $10,000 up easily if you're getting stripped out there and robbed and beaten on. Reed says Adam is aware or was aware of complaints, police activity, and other indications that folks who hung around the building created a dangerous or unsafe condition on the property, and says Adam negligently failed to take reasonable care of monitoring and supervising the premises while hosting his podcast. Okay, a rep for ADAM22 tells TMZ we have received no complaint, so we have no comment. We can't comment on a suit we haven't seen. I can relate. You fucking rats. But anyway, that's a different story. Meanwhile, a source close to ADAM22 tells us he was not involved in this alleged fight. Reed is going after ADAM22 for money. I can relate to that as well. Rats, separate situation. Well, it's not even a situation, but a separate discussion, I should say. Here's the thing with ADAM22 in this, and when we talk about culpability, responsibility, the guy Reed, there's definitely going to be a big play on why he was there. We've seen ADAM22 and Wack 100 try to put those narratives out there early on after the footage came out. And they start to try to, you know, beat down some of the narratives from Reed. You know, they I think back then in December, they were fearful that an alleged lawsuit can happen. And I'm saying alleged for a lawsuit because ADAM22 and his legal team is saying, we don't know nothing about no lawsuit. You know, this could just be somebody that sent something to TMZ at this point. And TMZ gets everything, right? TMZ is a headquarters for people sending lawsuits, claims, updates, news, drama, screenshots. So, you know, TMZ has a process at this point where they're supposed to vet their information. So maybe they believe that this is valid enough to run it. But at the same time, ADAM22 and them are not aware of this yet. So it is what it is, right? If this is a real lawsuit, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to walk up to the No Jumper podcast headquarters and maybe try to serve a subpoena or something. Who knows? But the culpability or responsibility on ADAM22 here to say he knows about this type of activity. There's already been police complaints, and these are known affiliates. That's a strong angle against the No Jumper podcast and ADAM22. ADAM22 goes for that. That's his demographic. That's his target. He loves to surround himself with gang members, gang activity, and create a soap opera up there. You got people up there fussing, fighting, calling each other out for fades left and right. They on there banging their sets every 5 seconds. Whether and every host, everybody that he brings in these days, the last couple years, that's his target. Your gang affiliate, and all the way back to dude that's in jail, Crip Mac, right? This is ADAM22's thing. All right, he wants to puppeteer all these gang members to get up there and entertain you fucking people. Now that doesn't look too good, especially if these are violent people, especially if these people already have reports on them, i.e. a loose cannon. If you continue to bring loose cannon around you, if he's affiliated with you or the people that you're working with, like let's say a Wack 100, if loose cannon is there because of either ADAM22 and or Wack 100, then you have the train to say that line to say, yeah, I still do point a finger to a degree at ADAM22, because at the end of the day, this is all his situation, and him and Wack are the reason why a loose cannon is here. And we know he is this type of person. We know he has this type of reputation, so if I'm bringing people around that are known shooters and then somebody gets shot by one of them, you're going to look at me a certain way. Right. So he's got, and I want to see the paperwork of this, and I want to read how detailed the lawyer is going to put it together of trying to blame ADAM22 for this beating. Right. Now, here's the second thing. The second thing about Reed being invited. I think it's obviously a big angle on both sides, because we've seen ADAM22 and Wack 100 going through major lengths to dispute that, why this guy was there in the first place. Wack has a lot of interviews and podcasts already saying, I ain't got no business with him. I don't know why he's there. If you with me, you already in the building. I have a rule. When I walk into the building, if you ain't with me, you ain't getting in, blah, blah, blah. When I was inside the building the night in question, somebody came outside, or ADAM22 called me and said, hey, there's some guys outside looking for you. And I said, I don't know who they are. I went outside to confront them or to see what's going on. Right. ADAM22 also is saying, I walked up on the guy and said, hey, can I help you? As he was leaving before he got into a car. And then the guy says, we're here for such and such and such and such. And he's like, okay. ADAM22 gets in his car and leaves, and then makes a phone call while he's already leaving the premises. Right. So why is this guy there? Now, especially if he's a known gang member, right? We keep seeing that. He's a known gang member, right? Why is he there? That matters so much. Like, you'll have somebody that'll try to extort you saying, something happened to me once upon a time at some event. I'm just speaking hypothetically and making up a story, right? Somebody will try to extort some money out of you because they broke his shit. And they'll be like, I was invited by Battle Academy, right? I was invited by King of the Dot, right? Well, who then? Organic invited me, or Gully invited me, right? Is there any record of them inviting you? No. It could be the opposite. It could be that the ADAM22s of the world and the Wack 100, maybe there's some history there that they actually don't want you there, especially because of the people that work there. Now, what if these are opposite? You guys got to really try to read between the lines a little bit here. What if it's already known on record from phone calls and text messages and discussions that these are two opposite groups or gangs, right? It's running parallel with Loose Cannon, maybe his gang, or they like, stay with me, read between the lines. Now, you still go up there. Now, you go there knowingly, I have problems with these people, right? And you're not invited by anybody. Maybe you're coming for a problem then. That could be the case. Right. And that's one thing that I assume the Wack 100s and the ADAM22s of the world are going to attack heavily if this is something that formulates as a real lawsuit or even real charges, like civil or criminal, because there's two parts to this. So why was Reed there is something that they have been arguing in the public for months that night. Why was he there in the first place? Okay. It matters. Now let's go to Wack 100 side, because both people in this case is very finicky when it comes to Reed's approach here. All right. Wack 100 is saying in this video, and it's captioned, Wack 100 and Loose Cannon face attempted murder charge at No Jumper. Now, for me, I haven't found that online yet. I haven't found no docket on that yet. Also, if Wack 100 and Loose Cannon are facing attempted murder charges, Loose Cannon's already in jail. So while he's in jail, he would just catch that charge. But if the moment you're charged with something, you get arrested and you get processed, whether you make bail or bond after that is a different story. Nobody heard nothing about Wack 100 being arrested. So the paperwork that he's about to read, if you pay attention, the top of it, we see something say like Burbank, and that's a spot in California, area in California, but you see the word insurance on it. So I don't know if this is criminal paperwork or criminal situation that Wack is reading, especially us knowing that he didn't get arrested or believing he didn't get arrested. But it's going around that they're facing murder. It's odd. So let's take a look at this video.
Offense, attempted murder. They say the offense is attempted murder. The suspect,
Offense.
number 4, Cash Jones.
You see that? Burbank Police Department. Now, when I see police department, okay, police department. But also it says underneath insurance copy. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that could just be a copy for your insurance. So for example, for Reed to get a copy of the police report to also give to his insurance or use in any type of lawsuit or insurance claims. Maybe that's what that is. I might have just caught myself. Maybe. Okay. And you see the date still, December 26, 2024, last year. This is a 7-month-old incident. A little bit over damn near. Yeah. Okay.
Victim 1, Jeremel Reed. Burbank Police Department. Victim statement, Reed. On 12/26/24, Reed went to the location of No Jumper Podcast Studio for a business meeting with Cash Jones.
Y'all know Cash Jones is Wack 100. He's saying he went to No Jumper for a business meeting with Wack 100. Wack 100 says, I don't got no business with you. I don't rock. I don't know you. Once again, that's a conflict.
Adam Mason and
it's also saying that he went there for Adam, a business meeting for Adam as well. I don't know, Reed. That sounds very different than what we've ever heard so far.
Jermaine Williams. Jones' background and gang affiliation. Jones admitted to being a member of the Pacoima Paru Bloods with the moniker of Lil Wack during a social media interview on December 6, 2023. Jones stated he got jumped into the gang when he was 12 years old and still claims to be a member. I've been on gang files since 1989.
Yeah, I agree.
Reed noticed about.
Yeah, I don't know why the angle of Wack being a gang member really matters so much here, unless you're gonna play the angle that they ended up beating me up because it's being said that Reed's set is blue and he's a Paru. Maybe you're drawing that, but yeah, everybody knows this about Wack already.
On December 6, 2023, Jones stated he got jumped into the gang when he was 12 years old and still claims to be a member. I've been on gang files since 1989. Reed noticed about 15 people exit the building into the breezeway. Once he was outside, Reed began speaking with Jones and Williams briefly about the Dash network. As Jones showed Reed something on his phone, Williams suddenly struck Reed. The force of the strike caused Reed to fall to the ground, landing on his back. Well, you're forgetting a big old part in there. Before I came out, I got a call from Adam telling me it's 2 people in the back. And was I expecting company? I told him no, all my people here with me. And kicked across his entire body by Williams. And multiple other suspects, and even recall being pistol whipped, struck with the firearm in the face by Williams several times. Reed did not know who the other suspects were or how many times each person struck or kicked him. He only recognized Williams and Jones. Reed mentioned there was a viral video of the incident posted on social media, which had been recorded by an unknown person at the present location. Officer Caldwell and I were able to find the video on social media platform, whatever.
Interesting. I mean, if he's a gang member, number one, that's clearly snitching, telling. You're on paperwork, giving statements about you being assaulted. If you're a gang member, if you're a street nigga, that's clear cut. You're a rat, the guy, right? Now, this is what's being reported, that he's a gang member. I don't know the guy, never heard of him before this situation. People from out there, out Cali and Burbank and all that, y'all can weigh in the chat, weigh in the comments. Let me know, is this guy Reed a known gang member for real? If he is, that's a snitch, all right? Speaking of Reed, if anybody forgot some of his, I don't want to call it campaign because I don't know how much he's in the right or how much he's in the wrong. I feel like there's cause to look at both sides. But we did do some interviews after, one of which he was like crying a little bit. I remember looking at some of his stuff in the past when we were we wasn't breaking the news, but we were reporting on everything and covering it. There was some odd positions that he was taking that looked like, you look like you're trying to set up a play, buddy. You know, but just a reminder.
On love, man. That's what I went there on love, and I thought the brother was my brother. I really did. I thought Wack was my folks. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. And so for me, I'm just grateful I walked out there with my life, and I'm grateful to have you, Rock, to be able to put on this platform so you can understand and see I'm not who they trying to make me out to be, bro. I really got love out here for these streets. And these tears ain't tears of sadness, brother. Just believe that I'm happy to be alive today.
Now, mind you, if the reports that are in that report that Wack was reading are true, it is a reminder of sometimes the company we keep. The dude's statement is that Wack, I'm there having a conversation with Wack. Wack is showing me something on his phone, and I get blindsided from the side by, I believe, Loose Cannon. His name does fit. I've said before, and I still believe that Loose Cannon doesn't seem all the way there, allegedly, right? He's flighty, the things he says, the way he acts, the way he talks. He's also got some known lying on the internet and all this type of stuff. Not really the company I would keep, but ADAM22 goes to that level for content, and Wack 100, he had his motives for keeping a guy like this around him, and this was post-incident, allegedly.
Look, y'all gotta stop playing. There's a reason why they call me the boogeyman. Like, this is facts. It's not no fairy tale. This is not what these rappers, like, they portray my life. Bro, I'm just blessed to be a music producer, an artist, a rapper, an entertainer, everything, an actor. But I'm just a real tough dude that stand on everything I say. So y'all don't get it misconstrued. I want problems. If I'm giving up this energy and you have a problem with it, do something. Because when I see you, I'm going to do something. It ain't going to be no facts. It ain't no mystery. It's nothing like that. I just get busy. Point blank, plain and simple. Like it or not, I am him. Look, y'all got to stop playing.
All right. Loose, I believe you, man. I believe him. You know, I think he's a believable guy as far as being street guy and acting out. And obviously we saw the footage of this, and there's other stories of him smacking people at boxing events and whatnot. And I believe you, buddy. I believe you. I don't know how far it got you. We all know where you are right now. I don't know how much that helps you and your family. We know where you are right now. But isn't it wicked that right before Loose Cannon got incarcerated, him and Big U and Brick Baby, that Wack 100 disassociated himself from, or was in the process of like going through issues with Loose Cannon, and here he is, fast forward 7 months later, the ghost of Loose Cannon still causing Wack 100 problems, because from the footage, Wack didn't look like he wanted that to be happening out there behind the building No Jumper, but Loose Cannon was being a Loose Cannon. Okay, to close this out, I want to say this. Once again, y'all from out that way, let me know, is Reed a snitch because he's really a gang member? He's really a Crip or whatever, right? I want to know that in the comments. We will continue to see how, if we get our hands on the paperwork, I really want to see the plays from both sides as far as why Reed was there that night in the first place, right? But let me just say this. We know that this could definitely be a money grab towards the No Jumper podcast. I don't think that ADAM22 is I think he has the least response. As much as I'm not a big fan of ADAM22 and how he carries himself. He seems to has the least amount of responsibility here, but you have the bag, No Jumper podcast. We're gonna go after you, right? As far as Wack 100 with an attempted murder charge, allegedly, I don't see where he was involved in attempted murder, right? Now, if there's other people that's on that paperwork as far as being accused of this, that would make more sense. Other guys that's pistol whipping and hitting on them. I didn't, Loose Cannon isn't in that paperwork too, right? But Wack 100 didn't lay a finger on him, and Wack 100 might have saved the guy's life that night by saying, "Yo, Loose, don't do that, don't do that, don't shoot him," So I don't know. That seems like a weird charge for Wack 100 to get, being that the footage was already be out where authorities could see it, the internet saw it, Reed could see it, lawyers could see it. And last but not least, I really do believe that there's at least a 70% chance, that's a high number, 70% chance none of this would be going on if somebody didn't put the fucking footage out. None of it. Reed, he has interviews, shortly after the incident online saying like, yo, I woke up, I see all these videos, it's embarrassing. My friends got to see, my family's got to see, I got kids or whatever, right? That will motivate you to possibly try to get a bag or maybe even retaliate and hurt somebody, right? Then you got that type of domino effect. Whichever way it goes, whether it goes legal or whether it goes street, there's a domino effect. That footage, it's street shit going on. Somebody out there got their ass whipped, stripped, robbed, pistol whipped. And in the midst of getting pistol whipped, you might have a couple prosecutors out there in the world that's going to say, this video to me looks like it could have been an attempted murder, right? An attempted murder. Some of us will look at it like, nah, the gun, he's just hitting him with it, it's an extension of his fists, pistol whipping. Prosecution ain't trying to look at it like that sometimes. They like, nah, to me, I think he's trying to kill him. The way they were stomping on him, hitting on him, I think they tried to leave him out there for dead. We're going to get him with that charge. Maybe we have him plead out to something lesser. Right? None of this happens, though. ADAM22 doesn't get sued. Wack 100 doesn't end up in some paperwork allegedly saying that he's got an attempted murder charge. This guy Reed's not embarrassed. He doesn't feel like he needs to go through all of this. Maybe get called a rat if he's really a Crip and all this type of shit. And even after that, will that affect his life of you living where you live and being what you be if you're a member and you allegedly snitching, all this type of shit? None of this happens unless y'all catch that. Even if you have to catch that ass whooping that night or dish out that ass whooping that night, if you don't put out this fucking footage, none of this shit happens. I know ADAM22, the white guy, is just like, look, I love having you guys dance around and do all this stupid shit for content, but Jesus Christ. Even me, the white guy that ain't a street nigga, ain't into none of this shit, I wouldn't have put that footage out. Well, who put the footage out? Why would y'all put the footage out? We know Loose Cannon didn't put the footage out. He's the one in the footage. We know Wack, well, I shouldn't say didn't put it out. We know that he wasn't recording it. We know the Wack 100 wasn't recording it. We know the people in the video wasn't recording it. But who was recording it? Who the fuck was recording it? And then who released it? It is possible that the Loose Cannons or the Wacks of the world was involved in either releasing it or green lighting it for clout. That's possible because we don't forget, after the incident happened, Wack 100, you was on Clubhouse shows joking a little bit and clouting it up a little bit. Yeah, nigga, I keep trying to tell niggas I am who I say I am. Nigga, come around here, you might something might. Yeah, he clouded up off of it for the moment a little bit on Clubhouse. We ain't forget Wack, right? So who recorded, who released, and then who even talked about it after the fact? All y'all. A problem with all y'all. And that's why all this shit starts happening 7 months fucking later. Shut the fuck up. I'd be so mad if I allegedly pistol whip somebody, strip somebody, rob somebody, stomp somebody, and then somebody in the background put a video of it out of me looking and me doing that shit. I'd be so fucking pissed. But If Jay Reed got a lawyer, he probably got all that shit. Clubhouse, posts, loose cannons, blogs. They got all of it. They got all of it of you clowning and whatnot. Good job. All right. Let's move on to Drake. Y'all see Drake in the thumbnail, right? All right, what do we got here? Let me go on the small screen for y'all. Joe Budden, Drake's new album looking shaky. Song with Central C isn't the one. Okay. What's this picture? It was got like some war paint on him, Drake. This is like an Iceman picture or promo. All right. Drake's rumored to have an October very own release date for his new Iceman album, which is not a call for fanfare if you ask Joe Budden. On the latest edition of the Joe Budden podcast, Drake's current buzz came up, and Joe admitted things were looking lukewarm in the aftermath of his latest single, which one was Central C. I'm going to play this clip with y'all. Real quick, though, as far as this song with which one with Central C, on everything. I heard it for the first time this morning. I saw this article, and I was just like, all right, we heard the What Did I Miss? That was like the lead single for the album rollout and the album itself. I said, it's okay. It's cool. I'm not mad at the song. Some people say, nigga, we want you to stop talking about your problems and whatnot and wallowing in your past relationships and whatnot and just give us heat and give us rapping and give us a summer hit, hopefully. But whatever. I thought that the song was okay. This Which One track, I missed it. A Drake rollout second single. Y'all know how much of a hip-hop music head I am. I don't know how it didn't come across my desk. I saw this article and I hit play this morning. And what is my thoughts on the song? I think it's just like What Did I Miss? I think it's okay. I think it's cool. It's not my cup of tea as far as the it's some overseas, him being multicultural again type of vibe. If I'm laying in a cabana on some resort, feet up or whatever, it's that type of song I want to hear. If I'm at a day party, if I'm at, Club Drea's day party in Vegas or some shit, it's that type of vibe. If that song comes on, I expect to look up and people's, in the pool playing volleyball, and the women is walking around bikinis, and there's a bunch of fucking pineapple drinks and shit. It's that type of vibe. And for that vibe, I'm cool. Like, all right, whatever. I wasn't there. I'm here working this morning when I clicked play. So it didn't move me at all. I was just like, what is this shit? Like, it's all right, though. It's right. But overall, as far as anticipation for Drake's album, let's see what they're talking about.
So we're not excited about Drake possibly dropping an album.
I mean, if it comes, I'll be excited.
When it comes.
Yeah.
Based on the two songs you heard, one of them you don't like, the other one we like. Where does that put you on?
I don't think it's fair for me to be the voice, because I shouldn't be the voice. I think somebody that's truly excited about it should be the voice. What act should be the voice? Number 2 on the list.
Got it.
I'm not all the way excited, like waiting for it. Of course, when it comes, I'm gonna listen, but it sounds like he on some London Man shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm not rushing to it, but of course I'm here. Of course we're gonna cover it. It's still Drake. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think Drake can make a bad song. Outside that Happy Birthday shit was atrocious to me. But other than that, like, he gonna make a song. And I like Central C, but don't try to fool me into thinking that that's what's gonna get American bitches loose.
This nigga's crazy.
You can't trick me. I know American women way too well. And then when the man done got no song like this for the girl them swing. And this them y'all.
Hey,
Play. Let me say.
No, I'm just saying.
Don't play like y'all did the other day. Let me see if it hits me like it.
Why you look the record up? It might not be for the American chicks. I'll go back to what y'all told me about that Honestly Nevermind album that I hated.
I'm American.
When I said that, y'all kept telling me, yo, it's not for here, it's for Central Pay, and it's for over there. So he making music for over there now.
No, stop.
Now, that shit go right here.
That's what y'all said to me.
But turn up, pause it for a minute. But this is my problem. This is my problem with this cast outside of everybody not being all black. This is my problem with the cast.
I'm with you, Flip.
But listen,
it's an uptick in it.
This is my. That's outside everybody.
He went to the grave site. He went to the money grave site. His grandfather taught that.
Pause this for a second. So when they said that, it made me pull it up in the background because I said it might not be for the American chicks. That wouldn't make any sense. I'm not talking about Ice. I'm talking about for Drake, his rollout, his targets, his navigation, his chess move. That wouldn't make any sense because what I pulled up in the background, I asked a question: in which country does Drake sell the most albums? Right, United States, 34.6 million album sales across 10 albums. The UK only that drops all the way down to 3.82 million across 13 albums. More albums, yet not even 10% of what he does in the States. And in Canada, I'm sorry, they don't line your pockets the way the United States does. They're even less than the UK. Canada is 2.2 million across 11 albums. So when you capture the number for only 10 albums, UK and Canada have used the numbers from more albums than that, and they don't even got 10% of what you do in the States. So you should be catering to the States. It's like me knowing the analytics of this podcast. It's like 80 plus, maybe almost 90% of the demographic is from the States. Like, yes, I know I get DMs from people saying, yo, shout out to you. I'm listening to you in Russia. Shout out to you from China. I just caught your podcast and I'm in Africa. And I love to see those type of tweets and comments and DMs. But my analytics show that a majority of the people that watch Rare Breed Entertainment or the Sorry Is True podcast, they're in the States. And I always feel that that's going to be one of the consistent type of demographics for hip hop music, right? The States. The States might always be in the lead for who's going to buy your albums unless you're a native of that country, I would assume, right? So if I'm a UK native and I sell more in the UK than I do in the States, I understand that, right? And he's not from the States and he's not from UK either. Where Drake is actually from is third on the list, 2.23. So that don't make no. Ice just tried to throw him some bail right there, but it fails.
Yo,
He went to the ancestral plane and came back on some.
Ever since he came back from South Carolina, he's been on this, bro.
Yeah, should have been different.
No, I watch the bond back. So I hear the takes and it'd be like, okay, go Hulk Hogan. Not so black.
No, man.
Nobody said
that.
Nobody.
But
listen, this is what I'm saying. When is Mark going to go outside and do a litmus test for any record? I'm going to wait.
Grip, stability, precision.
I don't know, y'all. I'm going to say this, man. I don't think Joe Budden is hating in that sense. Joe spent a good chunk of the segment parodying the record for its Caribbean rhythms, scoffing that the song will only get spins during filler hours at NYC hotspots, Pergola, and Say Less, like when NBA Nepo brother Thanos Antetokounmpo requests the record. Oh, shit. You're saying that it's only going to get played when Thanos walks up to the DJ booth? That's crazy. So we know the history of Joe Budden and Drake, right? There's no reason for us to think that Joe is going to give a totally unbiased, unfiltered, has no little sauce in it take on Drake because they don't fuck with each other. And Drake probably hates him the same. But he still seems kind of correct there. All this Caribbean vibe to the album and some of these songs and this second, which one song or whatever, like if you're not catering to your America or your biggest demographic of sales or your hip hop fan base or the billions of fans begging you to get back to what got you here in the first place, those hits and whatnot. And I'm gonna leave with this last little take here. Maybe I'm reaching. But remember a couple weeks ago when Drake was on stage, was in the UK, and he did that whole dissertation of this is where the best rappers are, not even from where I'm from or not even in the States. The States can't, it's all about right here. I aspire to be like y'all, right? To me, that was clear pandering, extremely clear pandering. A lot of people are going to take issue with that. And if that also was a part of the whole UK and US and Joyner Lucas versus Press or Skepta, whatever, back and forth, whatever, cool, little hip hop moment, competition. We never have problems with that if it's going to stick, especially if it's going to stick to music. But is this a reach? When you look at him do shit like that on that stage, is it still all him scorned from the angle of Kendrick, of him pilgrimaging, places that he's not from, i.e. Atlanta, and US culture, even though you're not an American, you're a Canadian, right? Is this not still all spawning from that? And then instead of doing what might be successful for you, you want to get away from Kendrick's narrative instead of doing what's going to work and create good songs. Because if you go give us a lead single or a second single or a third single, and it happens to have 2 Chainz or 21 Savage or Little Baby, the places that, or the people that Kendrick is trying to say, you use them, you pilgrimage them, you know what I'm saying? Instead of doing that, you go over to UK, you got, all these other type of Caribbean vibes and whatnot, and maybe you're gonna have Vibes Cartel on the album, which would be dope. But are you going in that direction to get away from Kendrick's narrative? And if so, yeah, I keep saying pilgrimage, and Kendrick's words was colonizing and shit. Absolutely. Thank you. You tried it. Those are that's a reach, maybe. Y'all tell me. Because if so, that's like one of those after effect burns of Kendrick trapping you. Like, I'm going to say something and put something out there that works for you, but it's going to be hard for you to do it without people scrutinizing it going forward. We'll see. I'm going to play the whole album. If the whole shit is some Caribbean shit, I'm going to take that up to 60-70% chance. That's another chessboard piece that Kendrick pushed on you, and you reacted to it in this manner. All right. Shannon Sharpe. What's going on with Shannon? So I almost said young lady, and I mean this with no disrespect. She definitely, they're saying that she's an older woman, right? I'm not saying that matters so much. Well, maybe it does, because when I look at that fucking video of her sucking down the balls, aka the cherries with Usher, it's like, the caption when we brought it up, it said auntie, like auntie out here getting it, right? And you sued over this shit. But all right, there's always 2 sides to a story, so let me try to be as fair as possible and listen to some of what she's got to say.
You gave them an opportunity to even be able to retract it, just to apologize. You sent out emails, letters, you've spoken with people, the producers over there, everything, and still they chose not to take it down.
Absolutely. So when it all began, this is back in April, many people are just hearing about it now, and that shows I'm not into trying to get a media hit about this. It got picked up. I'm not even sure how. I'm not really talking about the nuts and bolts of the case, but this case is about Shay Shay Media. It's about Pink Deer, the production company that was not fact checking it, or if they did not care enough. I sent emails, I sent letters. Clearly they opened it, they responded, because they made it private. They did not take it down, and it didn't take it down immediately. And even as of July 31st, things were still on ways to find it on their podcast, on Apple, and their other mediums in which they do it. And this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And right now,
you gave them an opportunity to even be able to.
Now, as it stands, there's no oversight, there's no regulation, and there's nobody calling anyone on the carpet when they're earning tens of millions of dollars for clicks, likes, and follows, and through advertisers. They don't have the overhead that you guys have here. They can have 2 men, a microphone, and a producer that's supposed to fact check, and they're not doing right by that. And as a private citizen, my rights were encroached upon. This is wrong. And something needs to happen about this. And I said, you know what? I'm going to see you in court, since they did not want to do the right thing. Now, as it stands, there's no.
Okay. She gets a point back. Let's be fair. Let's be 1,000. She gets a point back because she's saying, I didn't just try to jump to a lawyer. Let's take that for truth, right? I have no reason to believe that what she's saying right there is lying. Let's take it for truth. She's saying, I went through a process of emailing and DMing and reaching out to and asked them to take it down. I'm out here being embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm out here with Usher, and, it looks, people think that I got divorced behind it now. I'm even embarrassed of me being an older woman, that's out here single, trying to find a man. And now my face is plastered around as this divorced woman because I'm juggling cherries, right? Like, help me out here. Like, come on. And if you were trying to get it taken down, and then on top of that, they acknowledged it by setting it to private, meaning that we are seeing Shorty reach out to us. So we're going to set it on private right here. Like, let's say, I'll just make something up, the YouTube channel. But as far as my Instagram, my Twitter, and Twitch, and all these other avenues where it's still amassing millions of views and also a couple dollars, right? You leave it there. So you're showing me that you're not responding to me. And you're showing me that you also did receive my communications based on your actions. And then yet you're still giving me your ass to kiss to a degree. That right there is a point back in her field. I admit. Now, it equating to $20 million. Whole different story. We understand to aim high and land lower. That's still comfortable. Okay, I'm suing for $20 million. If somebody wants to reach out to my phone and my lawyer, my attorney, and say, like, here, hold on to this $1 million and let's all make this go away. Yeah, I'll take $1 million for going to the Usher concert and consensually juggling the cherries and then going viral for it and doing interviews for it and getting a little bit more popularity for it. And I'm even able to use this popularity and these platforms to clearly state that I'm not married. And at this point, everybody believes that you didn't get divorced behind that and you was never married because you're suing over it. You're suing for $20 million over it. And so everybody believes you at this point. Nobody is at this point fucking over your reputation for you juggling the cherries as far as you getting divorced behind it. I'm one of them. I don't think that she was married, and I don't think that it caused a divorce. There you go. Okay? So if that still equates to you somehow to $20 million, I don't know what to tell people these days with these fucking lawsuits. But she did get a point, and I do respect somebody that their reaction is really about them being hurt. If she feels like she was being hurt, I respect that, because all year we covering nothing but fucking money grabs. That's all we covering, money grabs. Somebody that's coming out and saying, I was hard. And us saying, oh my God, let's get this motherfucker in jail. They're like, no. I didn't go to the cops. I went to Tony Busby. It's like, what? How do we feel about Arist? What do you mean? Why is he not in jail? Why is this a civil suit? Why are you talking to me about $10 million fucking dollars if somebody gang-ard you? What? So we keep seeing that shit. So if she took that process and then they gave her ass to kiss while saying, nah, F you, we making some money on this one. Yeah, we embarrassing the shit out of you. And yeah, it might be false, but it's clicking up right now. So nah, shorty, we ignoring you. Then she gets a point back. It's just the 20 million, shorty. Like, come on. Like, how are we going to establish $20 million worth of damages here, especially if it's proven that you never was married and you didn't go through a divorce behind this shit? Like, you might be more in the right, but let's not go too far. All right. All right. I thought that was worth being fair and covering. All right. Sheff G. We got Sheff G in the thumbnail, right? One of New York's biggest drill rappers. I don't call him an up-and-comer. I feel like he cracked through. The 5-year foreigns. Is he on the same level as a 5-year foreign, Sheff G? Given his last shows and some of his popularity within like the last 2 years? Maybe. Speaking of 5-year foreign, we didn't cover that the other day. He was just released, I believe, after serving like 6 months. So 5-year foreign is out of jail now. We'll see if he puts some music out. But when we talk about the New York drill rap scene, of course, we have Pop Smoke, right? And then, of course, you have your 5-year foreigns. People would think that maybe those are two of the biggest names that come out of the New York drill scene. You saw what happened to Flock. You know, he's in jail right now. And here goes Sheff G, one of the bigger promising names. He's about to go serve. But was he railroaded a little bit? Some people will say yes, because even the prosecution side is saying he's not the shooter. But we also believe a lot of his drill raps, a lot of his self-admission and all the drilling that they was doing, and that he was one of the top dogs, if not the, for his movement on some street shit, right? So which one is it?
Drill rapper Sheff G talks about how music changed his life and his upcoming prison sentence.
All right, he chose to open up to only one reporter, Fox 5's Lisa Evers, who has the interview you won't see anywhere else. Terminal 5 in Manhattan was packed for the last show of Sheff G and Sleepy Hollow's highly successful 18-city tour. The two artists have racked up platinum and gold certified hits in the months that they've both been out of jail. They formed their own record label and forged a deal with a major company. The hardcore drill music that was closely tied to the streets is still there, but there's now more variety, like sexy drill and melodic drill, and that means a bigger fan base.
We be doing the after show. Every time after the show, we be doing the meet and greets. So we get to like really talk to the fans and like, you know, see what songs they like.
Has there been any violence or any incidents, fights or shooting?
Well, chat. I wasn't following Sheff G early in his career, and I don't really follow him too much even now, to be honest. He comes across my desk, and I do know some of his songs. Was his voice always like that? I'm not trying to be a dick. Was his voice always like that? Because we watch some people in their career, they go towards a certain, you know, and then they add all this extra to their. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke was kind of one of them. Pop Smoke, by the time he was like the last final parts of his career, before he passed, he wasn't talking like that when he first started rapping. His voice is deep, super shine, Biggie. Like, I'll be asking sometimes the question around Shine. Like, Shine rapped in an octave that is not him, that we hear him walking around as a politician talking with now. Right? That's not his voice, right? So that means that you was adding the extras while you was rapping. Is Sheff G the same? Pop Smoke, Shine, Sheff G. Is he another? Is this his real voice? A quick subtopic. My bad.
Is there anything at any of your?
Not at all, Lisa. You know, it's crazy.
Not at all. Like, what if I started to do that shit? It's like, now I can't stop thinking about it now. If I come on stream from now on, think like, oh, this helps the views. Yo, y'all good? Y'all good? Welcome back to the Sorry Shoe Podcast. It's your boy ARP. We in here. I'd be like, yo, he didn't start podcasting like that. When did his voice get like that? What changed with his fucking voice to do that shit? Oh my God.
This is my second tour since I've been home, you know, and then this one I actually got to do with Sleepy.
Since you feel me? Like, nigga, you don't talk like that. You know damn well you got a little ass voice like me. It's supposed to be a serious topic. My bad, y'all, but I don't know how I got sidetracked like that, B.
So, you know, it was way more bigger, way more better, you know what I'm saying?
But now tour time is over and doing time is about to begin. This is video of Michael Sheff G. Williams in May 2023 after he'd been booked as one of 32 alleged members of the A.
We are fucking this topic up. Fuck it. ARP, you know we change our voice when we talk to women. Hold on. Yo, Mish, what's good, girl? How you? Ain't shit, chilling. About to see what I'm about to get into for the rest of the night. What you dealing with? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same. You coming over here? Hold on. I felt my voice going back to normal towards the end. I'm trying. I can't do it. If I do it, I probably got a good 30 seconds, and then that shit is coming off, B. I can't maintain it. Yo, y'all got me butchering this topic, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. Let's stay focused.
Craig Cripps and Nine Ways gang named in a 140-count murder conspiracy case. It also named Kagan Sleepy Hollow Chambers. The gang was allegedly responsible for a dozen shootings with 13 victims, including one death. Investigators claim Sheff was a mastermind of violence against rivals. I had an exclusive look inside the 4-year investigation and takedown that involved 22 teams from the NYPD Gun Violence Suppression Division and warrant squads. Investigators told me Sheff was not a trigger puller, but claimed he was the mastermind, organizing and orchestrating violence against rivals called ops, like Folk Nation Gangster Disciples.
My bad. Back to so I'm still listening. And that's the catch right there. Not the trigger puller, but hell, John Gotti, all the murders that was on Sammy the Bull, right? He was the trigger puller allegedly. I didn't say no, he was the shooter. I don't need to say allegedly. But if you're calling the shots.
And ICG babies.
If Sheff said something.
And I didn't even mean that for a ball, calling the shots. I didn't mean it like that.
It happened. A simple text. We got to get a big one. That simple text created a war.
In April of 2024, Sheff made a $1.5 million cash bail and was released temporarily. Then in March 2025, Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez announced Michael Sheff G. Williams pleaded guilty to multiple top counts of second-degree attempted murder and second-degree and fourth-degree conspiracy. The DA had asked for 20 years, but Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Danny Chun gave Williams 5 years behind bars plus 5 years post-release supervision, explaining, quote, "I take into account consideration that you are not alleged with shooting anybody, not alleged to actually being the person who shot at or did commit the shooting, and that is very important in my opinion," end quote. Sheff says he's ready to put the streets in the rear view.
It's always going to be tough, you know what I'm saying? That's something very hard to prepare for, but it's like you build and you build and you put the right things in place and the right people in place, and you just hope for the best.
Sheff says he first joined a gang at the age of 12 and understands people might find that shocking, but in certain neighborhoods like his, you were assumed to be gang affiliated because of what street you grew up on.
It's like a family, you know what I'm saying? It's really hard to not be part of certain things in the neighborhood as you're growing up, you know what I'm saying? You automatically be involved with certain things, you know? So it's like, that's how we see it growing up through the neighborhood.
Sheff says he wants the kids, especially those 11 and 12-year-old boys, to know they can go straight for the music without turning to the streets. In the 16 months since he's been out on bail, he has spoken out against gun violence to officials at the United Nations, the state legislative offices, and even youth.
We do everything we're supposed to do. I just want the kids and I want the youth to see the growth and the development with me and my label and all my peers around me, you know what I'm saying? And just like give my story out to the world, you know?
Sheff G sentencing is scheduled for Wednesday, August 13th at Brooklyn State Supreme Court. He's expected to walk into the courtroom and most likely will be taken into custody immediately. Sheff says he wants everyone to know he takes full responsibility for his choices and he doesn't ever want to go down that road again. In the newsroom, I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
I like the report. If he was well spoken, all jokes and stop laughing at. He was well spoken. The whole thing of doing some of the community outreach and whatnot, you always hope that just comes from a genuine place, because we see a lot of people do that while they're out on bail, or while they're facing charges, in an attempt to lessen what they're going to walk into. AR-AB, he started doing a bunch of stuff. Talking about I want to change this, I want to do this, whatever. And it's just like, no, you're doing that because these charges are over you. And the lawyers will use that. Your lawyers will use that for you. Like, since he was either convicted and out until sentencing, or, charged and out on bond. Since then, he's been doing schools, he's been talking to children, he's been rapping about certain different stuff. He denounced his gang, and you hope that it's genuine, and you hope that Sheff G comes home and is still able to be successful, but at the same time still keep it positive, stay out of trouble, keep him and his people out the way of the BS. But at the same time, then you can't be a drill rapper. That's part of being a drill rapper, and that's his fan base will turn on him possibly. Like, nigga, what are you rapping about now? Young Thug might go through that, or is already going through that. We'll see. You got to be very creative to maintain the core fan base that loved what you was able, the aggression, the true stories, the violence, the drama. Imagine, rest in peace, King Von was still here. He went through something legally, and then he had to stop rapping drill shit. Would he maintain his fan base? It's you got to see. But shout out to him. Speaking of AR-AB, real quick, I did see this. Damn. When I say damn, I hope some of y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. That's Dark Low's ad lib, right? Damn. That ain't. I wasn't just saying damn because he's home. Dark Low's home. Dark Low touch, man. One of my favorite rappers from Philly to listen to on beat. I got all of his shit, American Made, and all of his mixtapes, Timeless. I got all of his shit, right? His Blow series with AR-AB was dope. He's got a lot. He's just a dope rapper. If he gets back in the stew, I hope that he sounds the same and has similar type of, because jail changes people, relationships change, situations change, and then the content changes, right? So we'll see. He looks okay here. He's always had those health issues. I believe it was Freeway that helped him have like a replaced kidney or something, right? It was one of the reasons why he was even trying to use that to get out of jail, especially during I think COVID time. Like, nigga, I'm in here I really have serious health issues, right? He looks like he lost a lot of weight there. You know, all that, the beard, he always had the big beard, but even the dread looking underneath the skull, you looking like coming out like a black Jesus, B. So hopefully, you know, he gets himself together. Hopefully his health is intact. And if he gets back in the booth, that's dope. You know, he did some questionable stuff that a lot of people was on his heels about, especially the Leak Morses of the world. But I'm over that. You know, I don't know. I think there's a lot of gray there. There's cause to say, yo, Lo, you did wrong, but there's also little excuses that you could listen to that he gave. I just want the music. Okay. I'll leave it like that. So welcome home to Dark Low. Welcome home to Dark Low. Also, speaking of lyricists and music, let me just bring this up real quick too. Let's hear my man Mickey Factz out. Mickey Factz tells Ray Daniels that Lupe Fiasco is a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar.
I got Lupe ranked higher from a pen standpoint.
He can really rap.
He can out rap Kendrick today. Okay. But from a pen standpoint, when we talking about just writing raps, like just writing raps and actually rapping, no, I got Lupe over him. Every day of the week. Every day of the week. Every day of the week. I think every day of the week. I think every day of the week.
So how high is Lupe then? Because like that's the upper.
Oh yeah, no.
Lupe's in that J Nas big.
In terms of pen,
that's what I'm asking.
We're not talking about songs.
No pen, just
but
pen.
the pen makes the songs.
No. I'm sorry. No. He writes songs. He writes freestyles. All of that.
Okay.
I'm talking about in terms of just lyrically, it's Lupe.
So Ray Daniels, definitely, I don't agree with him trying to chime in with the pen make songs. There's a difference between a song maker and just a pure pen and lyricist. I know a lot of amazing lyricists from battle rap as well as artists I listen to in the industry. Their pens are just light years ahead of but they can't make good songs. Hell, look at Cannabis, right? Look at Cannabis. You know, he couldn't make a good album, couldn't make good songs, but his pen, his rap ability, his lyricism was through the roof at that time, right? Y'all know that the outros and the intros that's Mickey Factz' song, right? And shout out to Mickey once again. This is something that I might shoot him a text about. And out of curiosity, I respect Mickey's hip hop and lyricist. He that's one of the things he does for a living. You know, he teaches rhyme ability and he does all these bar breakdowns. Mickey is one of the guys that has that super lyrical ability as well as lyrical analysis and lyrical mind. So there's many people that would have said what Mickey just said, and I would have been like, I would have gave him to Tony Yayo. You know what I'm saying? But Mickey saying it makes me want to go pay attention and maybe do some more homework on it and ask him to give me more context around it. So I thought that was interesting. I'm gonna open up that can of worms and I'll get back to it later. Last but not least, who sent this to me? Was this my boy L Dot that sent it to me? I think L Dot sent this to me and said, look at the comments. Shout out to Jim, man. We fuck with Jim over here, but all right. So the comments, L Dot, I'm listening to you. He says, look at the comments. So it says, we are too mature for this is the first comment. It's got 3,264 likes. The next one under that says, bruh, you're 50 years old. Grow the fuck up. The third one, hey Siri, play Second Childhood by Nas. Happy Friday, y'all. Oh my God. Look at this Nas meme. Oh my God. Imagine a grown man still on this bullshit. Embarrassing. Jim is 49 playing Spin the Bottle. Oh my God, L Dot, you right. The oldest young nigga alive. Oh my God. Yo, shout out to Jim, man. Listen. Shout out to Jim. Jim is Jim. That's all I'm gonna say. Jim is fucking Jim. All right. He closed it off on some lighter shit. All right. All right. What do we got over here? at 5:49 a.m., 10 minutes before the stream cut on, Jay blessed the channel with a gift. Very, very common. Very, very common over here, people. I sound like a broken record, but I'm just reading the reality of what our members and our chat and our mods do over here. So you just got to be around. You know, I'm not a broken record. It's not me. It's them. It's them. You know what I'm saying? Salute them. Thank them. Don Bean gifted as well. 5:52 a.m. before the stream started. At 6 a.m. on the dot, Jay came with another one. And then Jay tossed in a super for today's podcast. Thank you, Jay. Beautiful Jay, always extremely supporting and pushing the podcast. What's good, Mike? Our member says, my G, Android with the, you damn right. I've been I had a iPhone. This is probably like, I don't know. I'm just going to make up a number. I feel like it's like over 10 years ago. I had an iPhone for like 24 hours because there was that period where they're like, if you don't like the phone, you can come back and whatever. And I think it was just like the popularity of it that said, let me try it. And the iOS of it or the operating system, the operations of it and everything, I was just like, I'm good. And I went back to Droid in less than 48 hours. And I've been always a Droid cell phone guy. I don't fuck with iPhone. I don't like it. I don't like the operations of it. There's a lot of people in the chat that probably hate what I'm saying right now. I ain't mad at y'all. It'll be the forever war, Mercedes and BMW and Apple and Android and Pepsi and Coke. RV, well, that war's over. Some wars do come to an end. But the Android and Apple one will still be there for God knows how long. I'll tell you this. I told y'all that story of me trying to swat at a bee while I had an energy drink in my hand before the gym. And I had my cell phone in one hand. And I swatted at the bee and my hand caught my shirt. And as I caught my shirt, my cell phone went flying out of my hand into the deep end of my pool. And I told y'all, I threw everything down, dove in, caught it, came back up. And all it did was give me a message saying moisture alert. And I was just like, and I watched it for like the next couple of days. I was like, yo, my shit is good, huh? That's all. And I don't even got a brand new Galaxy. This is like 1 or 2 Galaxies back. I'm not a guy that tries to stay current with the latest and the greatest. I'm just like, as long as it works and the battery is still holding life and the functionality, probably within the next year. So I'm going to have to change it and upgrade. But I'm just saying, I don't know if iPhone will do that for me. I don't know. What's good, G? Our member dropping off a super. I appreciate you, homie. Once again, shout out to all the members, all the mods, the entire chat. Before I get out of here real quick, we got because they be like, yo, he's only shouting out the members always. I got Sweet Butter Gemini in the building. She's here extremely often. I appreciate you, love. Droid Gang, there we go. Shout out to Tay Smith from the chat in the building. I'm doing non-members right now. Non-members. Don Coolio, that's a cool name. Shout out to Don Coolio in the building. Playboy Qua, good morning, everybody. Likewise, G. I'm doing non-members, okay? He only shouts out the members. Not true. Not true. McChilson again says, bring back the sidekick. I would cop one. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream today. I got to get up out of here, get moving with the morning. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your favorite topic was for today. We didn't go too crazy, but I think we had a little bit of fun, right? So I'll catch y'all either later on this afternoon or bright and early 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's your boy.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.